I'd like to call the meeting to order. We're a large crowd here tonight, so I'd appreciate it if everybody would turn off their cell phones. We have with us tonight Pack 383 from St. Bonaventure, who will present the colors and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you all please rise? Who's going to start us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. That's a good picture if you want to come up here and take the picture. And while you're doing that, I want to thank Amanda Sheff, who's the committee chairman. And these scouts are from the Arrows of Light: Xavier Lazaro, Sammy Sheff, Alex Correa, Xander Mon, Ryder Labe, Ezra Colon, Frank Aiden, and Diego Cordova. You're doing your pack a lot of good job. You may be dismissed. Would you give these to everyone so they can go in the minutes? Thank you. May I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Paul.
Here.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Here.
Councilmember Whitman.
Here.
Councilmember Starkey.
Here.
Councilmember Hatton.
Here.
Mr. Lamack. Here. Mr. Lewis. Here. Mr. Holste. Here. Mr. Weinthal.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Before we begin, I would like to say a few words about our former mayor, Tom Truex, who just recently passed away. He was mayor from 2003 to 2009, served 2 terms. And after he stepped down as mayor, he served on the Charter Review Board and still continued to work. And I must say that he continued right up to very shortly before he passed. And he was very instrumental in working with the community and coming to a great solution. Mr. Post, thank you. A good conclusion to a development that was impacting his neighborhood. So we want to say rest in peace, Tom, and God bless you, and say a few moments of silence. Godspeed, Tom. Okay, the first 30 minutes or so of the first council meeting of each month, we set aside for public comments. This is an opportunity for individuals to come before us and ask questions, heap praise, give us concerns, any issues that may concern them. And we find that as much as we can, and in our ability to do that, when people come before us and bring things to our attention, we work a little harder to get those things done in a timely manner. Sometimes it takes a little longer, and sometimes we can get it done very quickly. It depends on the agencies that we're working with. So you can speak on anything except something that might be on the agenda tonight on a public hearing. And if that's the case, you can speak on it when it comes up on the agenda. And you're limited to 3 minutes, and I will start off with the first row and move on back. Is there anybody in the first row that wants to speak? Okay, why don't I do this? I know Mr. Post wants to speak. Is there anybody else that wants to comment? Okay, we have a couple of people. If you want to come forward, state your name and address, and come on. Yeah, you're the closest. And then Mr. Post will be on deck. Just state your name and address, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Aparna Bhargava, and I've been a resident of the city of Davie for the past 20 years. But this is my first time attending the meeting. I have two businesses as well in the city of Davie. One is I have a aftercare tutoring center as well as an apparel store. And I just wanted to introduce because a lot of students who cannot afford, they are looking for, help, educational help. And I've been trying to get my center as I have a virtual academy. So basically, if it gets approved as a school, then I can get the funding for the community. And it could be anyone, anywhere, because it's a virtual academy. But the city of Davie would not recognize the school because it's a virtual school. But the kids can actually come in the evening or at any time to get the education. So I had that one of the concerns because the next door is we have another school. It's a VPK, and I just need to bring that to your attention that it could be we could help a lot of students who cannot afford, and there are a lot of them. That's it.
Appreciate that.
Thank
if you
you so
would
much.
put some of these things in an email and send it to us, and we can look at it a
Okay.
little.
And who would be the concern?
You can send it to me,
Okay, perfect.
and then I'll share it with staff.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank you.
it. Have a blessed day.
Did you fill out a form?
No. Sorry.
Somebody, Jillian, would you get her a form to fill out, please?
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
Next.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Cuffey, a resident of Davie for over 20 years. I have two quick concerns. Thank you, Jonathan, for taking care of one of my concerns. One of them is the way disconnection and reconnection of water is done in the town of Davie. And my simple request is that just as this town meeting is advertised on the Davie
E-News.
website or newsletter, can the disconnections be done that way? Just send mass email or just put it the dates when disconnections are happening so that residents of Davie are aware as to if disconnections are going to happen, that they can take care of their business before that happens.
Okay.
Please.
Who would she speak to? Renuka? Mr. Lewis will take care of it. Just come. Oh.
One quick thing again. I noticed there are large snails or slugs, like all on the banks of the canal on Orange Drive. and they're huge. One of the things that I was alarmed and alerted by is that on one of the gazebos on Orange Drive, kids were actually playing with the slugs. They had them, counting them and playing with them. Those are poisonous as far as I know. So I'm not sure if there is anything, anybody is aware of that in terms of the infestation of those slugs in...
You're talking about two different things, slugs and snails. They're different. But
snails.
If they're the snails I'm thinking of, these are the wading birds and so forth. That's what they feed on. But we can have somebody from the wildlife check that.
Thank you.
If you give us an exact location.
All along the banks of the canal on Orange.
From
Orange
where to
Drive.
where? Orange Drive?
University going east to 441.
Okay.
Right?
That helps. Thank you.
All right.
Did you fill out a form?
I did.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Steve Post, Davie's Last Frontier. At the risk of sounding repetitive, first I want to say thank you to Rick, the city manager, regarding the horse crossing signs. We've made some progress. I was called into the back offices back in September with 2 engineers, and they came up with a plan that I had never thought about. So we're getting close. Now, I want to bring you back. You know, sometimes flashback is good. It keeps you in touch with your youth a little bit. Back in 1973, I was in a horse club. You can imagine the neighborhood that it was in. I'm not going to bring up the town or the city. Everybody in the club would have a little project to work on. Set up a horse show, set up a camping trip, rent a movie, 16mm film on a projector. My little project was to try to clean up the horse trails. Well, I was able to find out back then that the Parks and Recreation director had retired 4 years earlier. The new one didn't know anything about bridle pass. I also found out that the fellow from the Department of Sanitation was promoted to a higher office, and the new guy at the Department of Sanitation didn't understand that they would pick up the slag, which was the residue of coal, and instead of putting it in the dump in the trash pile, redistribute it through the bridle paths to dress them up. Those paths were full of broken rocks, glass. There was rocks coming around, pieces of wood. It was a mess. So for 4 years, nothing was taken care of until I pointed it out to the fella at the Parks and Recreation and the Department of Sanitation, and within 8 months, the trails were all dressed up. And with these horse crossing signs now, I'm trying now, it's going to be 23 years to get a couple of signs across Davie Road. So if I was able, and this was when I was 20 years old, when I was young and had power. So I just thank you, Rick, because you guys are really making it finally come true. And I hope I got another 20 more years of riding down here. All right. Hope I entertained you a little bit.
Thank you. I always like to hear the history stories. Did you fill out your form? Did you fill out your speaker's form? Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Seeing none, I will close the open speak and move on to presentations. We have the Sustainability Awards from our Agricultural and Environmental Board, and Lisi Bazinet will lead the charge.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council members, Lisi Bazinet, staff liaison of the Agricultural and Environmental Advisory Committee and Planning staff, and I'm here to present the 2022 Sustainability Award winners. And under this council, the direction was given that the town of Davie make a commitment to promote sustainability, and with the creation of the Sustainability Awards. And the town received awards nominations from January to September of this year. And the selection was made by the Agricultural Environmental Advisory Committee at their last meeting in October. And we have 8 winners this year. We have a video presentation of all winners, and after we will invite them to receive their awards and take a group picture. So please watch.
Hi,
The Caring
my name is
Community.
Alexander Akita. My name is Kyle Bastos, and we're with the Caring Community. One of the things we do here is provide education to the local community on how to grow food.
And we also take care of this garden we have here at Robbins Park Reserve,
which provides foods for local food shelters.
So what I love most about this project is not only that I learn every time I come here about the different plants we have, but we give back to the community with all the food we harvest here going to local food shelters. And it's really a wonderful community effort.
While this project offers a lot of different things to the community, in my opinion, one of the most important things is education. As you can see in the garden behind me, we have a variety of different trees, from mangoes to turmeric to sweet potatoes, and all of these things can be grown at home. Basically, as the old saying goes, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach him how to garden, he eats for a lifetime.
And this is all at the Davie Community Garden. Our second winner is Dr. Phil Busey.
Hi, I am Phil Busey. My business is Phil Busey Agronomy Consulting. As a Davie resident, I've had the opportunity to serve on the Agricultural and Environmental Advisory Committee, as well as other boards and advisory capacities of the town of Davie. What I have learned is that everybody appreciates how important the environment is, but we also need to have place for people, and for jobs, and it should not be a conflict. Environmental challenges are the most difficult to figure out, and it takes the most gifted, smartest people you can to try to find a win-win situation. And I think if I've learned anything, it's really that we shouldn't be overconfident. We should always get someone else to look at what we're doing, make sure that it makes sense, give it some time to develop. And, we should always be ready for a rebirth of wonder.
Thank you. Mr. Busey. Our third winner is Cleaning for Good.
What do mango, starfruit, avocado, and banana all have in common? They all grow really well here in Broward County. A lot of people have trees in their yards that produce more fruit than they can use. This is where we come in. Gleaning for Good, in partnership with Society of St. Andrews, will send volunteers to pick the excess fruit and take it to a local food bank or food pantry. The donor gets a tax receipt for the donation, and the food banks get fresh, nutritious food. In 2022, year-to-date, we've harvested more than 15,000 pounds for food banks, but we know we can do so much more with your help. Food banks are seeing a sharp increase in need, and we expect this to continue as food inflation makes it harder for vulnerable families to feed their children. Help us to get food that would otherwise be wasted into food banks and the bellies of hungry children.
And our fourth winner is Three Amigos Growers.
Hey, my name is Santiago. I'm John. And I'm Jason. We're Tree Amigos Growers, and we help you create your own food system by making organic gardening easy.
I love Tree Amigos Growers' ability to connect with a lot of people and to be able to help them grow the best food they can grow in their homes. And I also love learning from everybody who comes through here, tips and tricks that they kind of leave behind, and we accumulate knowledge, so I love that. that aspect of pyramid. Really open space for people that are learning how to do this. Because once you become control of your own food system, that's really the difference. We all have different reasons, but we help you connect to that. So it's empowering for me to empower you.
And our fifth winner is Indian Ridge 8th grade project with Mr. Kernan.
I work at Indian Ridge Middle School, and I'm here in our beautiful butterfly garden. The garden was done for a beloved faculty member, Ms. Drury, who passed away, and we created this garden because she loves butterflies. And I'm an English teacher, and with my students I do a project called Be the Change, where the students get to pick any kind of community service project they want to do. And some of the kids decided that they would take on our butterfly garden and revitalize it. So in the Be the Change project, my students pick their own topic, they research, they read a book, a nonfiction book about the project, they do an elevator pitch, and then they do a written proposal, and then they work on the project all year long. My favorite thing is definitely the students, watching the students work and create the garden and keep the garden going. What it helps for the community is the idea of sustainability. I love the idea that the kids are working, they're learning skills, they are learning things about butterfly gardens and different plants that will work, and hopefully they can bring this to their lives and have a lifelong love of gardening and nature.
Our sixth winner is NSU Reclaim Water Project.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Robert S. Lafferty Central Energy Plant here at Nova Southeastern University. My name is Seth Mangasari, and I'm the Director of Physical Plant here at the University. Our project submission for the Town of Davie Sustainability Award was the changeover of this plant's makeup water from domestic to reclaimed use, which is being produced here in the town. Over the course of this project, which started in July of 2021, we did the changeover of more than 21 million gallons of domestic water into 42 million gallon use of reclaimed water. This water savings alone is saving more than $240,000 per year for the university, and is going to provide a large domestic makeup for the town of Davie. I thank you all for your time. Have a great day.
Our seventh winner is Sustaining Stacy.
I am Sustaining Stacy. I create jewelry from Mother Nature and reusable beeswax wraps to reduce single-use plastics in the kitchen. I never made jewelry until I moved onto a plant nursery here in Davie, where the banded caracol, a tropical tree snail from Puerto Rico, was thriving. This snail hitchhiked its way into South Florida through the plant trade and eats only algae and dead flowers. As an avid lover of sustainability, positive feedback loops, and understanding the circular nature of ecosystems, I knew I had to put it on a necklace. Some wear crosses, I wear sacred geometry. My other product came from the practice of reducing plastic in my life. The reusable wraps last up to a year and keep food fresher longer than in Ziplocs. I vend this sustainable product at our community pop-up market and haven't purchased plastic wrap in 5 years. The most valuable thing I can offer is the encouragement to baby step your habits towards living with less plastic.
And last but not least, Hope Outreach.
Hi, I'm Alejandra, leader at Hope Outreach Food Bank Garden. Hope was installed in the year 2018 by a group of wonderful people with a common goal. The goal was to grow fresh and organic produce for the food pantries at the town of Davie, Florida.
We have a small plot in San Morendo Farms. It consists of 10 garden beds, a banana circle, a perennial garden, a pollinator garden, a tea garden, and our latest addition, a free seed library for the community. Each year, we donate hundreds of pounds to Community Church of Davie Pantry and the Cupboard Pantry. We would not be able to accomplish any of this without all the volunteers and team leaders. Thank you for the priceless hours you have spent in this garden.
We are part of the caring community.
And now help me welcome for the caring community at Davie Community Garden, Alex Rakita. Thank you. Yes. For the second award is Dr. Phil Busey. For Gleaning for Good, Cat Kane. For the Three Amigos growers, Jason Long and John Arroyo. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the Indian Reach 8th grade project, Ms. Kim Canal. For NSU Reclaim Water Project, Mr. Seth Mangasarian, Daniel Alfonso, and Randy Senef. And for Sustaining Stacy, Mrs. Stacy Smith. And last but not least, for Hope Outreach, Ms. Alejandra Helves. Congratulations to all the winners.
This is one of the best parts of the committee's accomplishments, is to recognize people in the community that are going above and beyond the call of duty to build a sustainable community. Thank you very much. Moving on to our next presentation will be Florida Power and Light, their Storm Secure Undergrounding Program. Amy Vanilla, Customer Outreach and Leader, and our dear friend Ben Wesley.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. I'm here just to introduce Amy, but I just want to say I'm very pleased to report that I'm in my 20th year as your liaison with Florida Power and Light. Marlon just asked me if I was going to retire, but not yet, not yet. So, and I'm also now, this is our 16th year as residents of the town of Davie when we brought United Ranches in 2006. So with that, we're just here to give you the good news about the Storm Secure Underground projects that Amy's team is going to be putting together and executing in 2023. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amy.
Thank you, Ben, and good evening, Mega Mayor and Town Council. We've had a very productive introductory conversation with your staff already, so we view this as more of a preliminary discussion with you all as well for awareness. Today is just an informative session. We are not asking anything of the council. We just hope for a fruitful partnership moving forward. So we have a quick presentation that I'll walk you through, and Jonathan told me 8 minutes, so I'll do my best to make sure I stick to that time frame as well. So is the clicker? Maybe if you just click through the next slide, not my 8 minutes. Kick through. All right. Well, so the Storm Secure Underground program was actually born after Hurricane Irma impacted the state. That had a significant caused due to vegetation. So our Storm Secure Underground program is actually part of our storm protection plan, which focuses on improving our grid to make it smarter, stronger, and more storm resilient. And the reason why we are here tonight is to inform you that there are certain portions within the town of Davie that have fit specific reliability criteria and have been selected to be undergrounded in the coming year. So what you see on the screen is the 3 reliability criteria that we use in order to rank these neighborhoods across the entire state. So we are undergrounding not only in the town of Davie, but throughout the entire state. The first one is our power line performance during previously named storms. So Irma, Matthew, Michael. We look at power line outages due to vegetation issue. That's the main cause of these potential outages. And then the power line performance during day-to-day. If we are lucky, we don't have too many storms impact the state. So of course, residents may feel some pain on any type of outage due to just regular day-to-day issues. So these 3 criteria combined over the span of the previous 10 years are what help us rank the properties. So what you see in the following slides are the portions within the town of Davie that fit this criteria. And so to give you a little bit of a preview, we are coming in advance of the upcoming work in 2023 that will start in January. So our program execution actually follows a 2-year timeline in order to ensure that we properly inform the respective cities and municipalities, but also the residents specifically. So during the first year, we look at what we call our conceptual design. So what is the optimal design for our undergrounding lines? What are some of the potential environmental concerns that we may have? Are they canals? Are there any type of vegetation issues? Is there a condensed area that perhaps we have to look at the engineering design a bit more closely? Once we go through that initial conversation, we actually start mailing letters to customers to let them know that they have been selected for the program. Now, a key differentiation here is that we mail letters specifically to property owners. So if there's any type of rental properties, or if there's any type of residents living in that property, then we would have to make sure that we communicate with them additionally through phone calls or even door knocking. That first year, we focus on obtaining easements to place pad-mounted transformers, as well as communicating how the project will actually impact their property. Once we obtain all the final agreements, we move to our final design and ultimately to permitting. And this is the reason why we're coming so far in advance, and we've already met with the staff, is to make sure that we understand the requirements of the town as it relates to permitting, construction, but ultimately so that you have awareness as to what's going on in the town as well. The following year, we will move into construction, and that can take an average of 4 to 6 months, depending on the size of the project. So the next slides you'll see will show us the timeline that we expect to follow. So we've actually already done work in the town of Davie, which has been a successful effort so far. So previously we have undergrounding just about a mile of overhead, roughly translates to about 192 properties. These are households, so it could actually be even more customers that have benefited from this. In 2023, we're going to start 2 different portions. So in 22, we were already communicating with residents, obtaining agreements, letting them know that we were coming to them. But also in January, we are going to be door knocking on an additional 1,300, almost 1,400 properties to let them know that they have been selected for this program. What I want to highlight is a significant ramp up that we're going to have from what we've previously completed, roughly about 3 miles, and now almost tripling, more than that, right, to almost 17 miles. So that translates into more permits, more communication, more collaboration. We've already had discussions on making sure that as we're mailing letters, we partner up with the town to make sure that the residents are informed, because there are specifically selected projects. Not the entire town of Davie is being undergrounded in 23, but our ultimate goal is, of course, to make sure that we bring this reliability benefit to every single resident in the town of Davie in the years to come. So you'll see, we've got 2 maps, and we've actually already shared this previously, so we can explain even further offline. But these are the images of the previously completed areas that we've constructed since 2020. And then the next slide actually shows us upcoming future work. So just geographically, you can see that there's a larger volume of work that is coming. We want to make sure that we explain how this program actually impacts a property. So just for a visual, on the left, you see the average before the SSGP comes into the property. So I want to pay attention to the overhead aerial transformer. So those are typically in the rear of the property. Typically that's where trees are potentially surrounding those lines. You see that service drop, that line connecting to the home and dropping into the meter can. Our intent is to remove that aerial transformer. So you see in the after, that is removed and replaced with a pad-mounted transformer in the front of the property to make it more accessible so that it can be serviced in the future, but also to minimize any type of interruptions to the property owner and their service. We would top that pole and make sure that we restore that property to its original condition. The reason why we need easements from customers is because we are placing those pad-mounted transformers on private property, and not every home requires a pad-mounted transformer. It's typically every so few. So we have conversations with every resident, but we want to make sure that that is clear as well. And the reason why we also ask for permits is because, in the next slide, our construction is actually directional boring. So we do the directional boring for the cables in the right-of-way. It is important for us that residents know that the individuals that could be door knocking are valid and true FPL authorized representatives to make sure that it's clear. So just to make sure that there's awareness, an FPL representative would be wearing an FPL issued badge, some type of FPL specific attire, typically with our logo, and our shirts actually say Storm Secure Underground Program on the sleeve, as well as potentially carrying an iPad to take note of any type of customer questions or concerns and any property conditions. And the final slide. So I mentioned directional boring, so we try to minimize disruptions to the property as well as to the town. So directional boring, thank you. Directional boring is our primary construction method, and as I mentioned, that is the reason why we are requesting permits, and we would be partnering with the town to understand any requirements. We're very proud, very happy to bring this benefit to the town as well as to the entire state, specifically after the impact that we have seen, especially after Ian and Nicole. So we thank you for the partnership. Thank you in advance for all the collaboration that we've already had and we will have, and we look forward to working with you. So with that, I'll take any questions you may have.
I had one question that I wrote down, and then you answered it. So
great. That's what I like to hear.
I was just concerned whether every property was going to have a pad.
Excellent. Thank you.
But you answered that. Anybody else? I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. We'll go into the approval of the consent agenda. I'm going to pull item number 1. Councilmember Whitman?
No, Mayor, I'm good, thanks.
Vice Mayor?
No.
You're good?
No, ma'am.
Councilmember Starkey?
Nothing for me.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda minus item 1?
Motion to approve consent agenda minus item 1.
That's a second from the Vice Mayor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. Now we'll take up item number 1, which is the Rick K's Bikes for Kids Month. May I have a motion to approve that item?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. And we have with us tonight Raquel Case and Greg Traveling. Okay, is that good? They'll be accepting the proclamation, and it's going to be read by Councilmember Starkey.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas in 1982, the Bikes for Kids program was begun by Rick and Rita Case in conjunction with the local Boys and Girls Clubs and local charities, churches, schools, in an effort to distribute new and pre-owned bicycles during the holiday season to those children whose holiday may be a little less bright. And whereas the Rick Case Bikes for Kids program has distributed hundreds of bicycles to deserving children and hopes to increase those numbers in this year. And whereas this program teaches kids the value lesson about the joys of giving, as well as providing a much appreciated gift for children who might otherwise not hope to receive such a nice present. And whereas this contribution is significant in terms of effort and spirit by all those young people participating in this worthwhile project. Whereas since 2022 represents the 40th anniversary of the inception of the Rick Case Bikes for Kids program, it is hoped that again this year thousands of bicycles will be received and given in celebration of the 2022 holiday season. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the mayor and the town council of the town of Davie do hereby proclaim the month of December 2022 as Rick Case Bikes for Kids month, signed by our mayor.
Pass it down. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have representation from the Case family here, and we always look forward to seeing you. We know this is a given every December.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Just come up to the mic.
Oh, sure.
You can speak it.
Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate all of you, and I know most of you. So, and I know Dad's smiling down as he is. He loved this program very much. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel.
Okay, we're going to go into the public hearing portion of the meeting. Item number 14, Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report. Mr. Weinthal, will you read the resolution by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the Town of Davie approving fiscal year 2021 through 2022 Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report, CAPER, for the Community Development Block Grant Program as required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, provided for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Council, any questions or discussion? Seeing none. Could I have a motion to approve the annual performance evaluation?
Motion to approve the annual performance evaluation report.
Seconded.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 15 is the non-ad valorem assessment. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the resolution by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, electing to use the uniform method of collecting non-ad valorem special assessments levied within the incorporated area of the Town of Davie, stating a need for such levy, providing for the mailing of this resolution, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. The public hearing, anybody wishing to speak for or against may come up at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Are there any questions or discussion by council? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the non-ad valorem assessment?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Go on to the second and final reading, number 16, of the green reuse area. Mr. Weinthal, will you read the resolution by title?
Yes,
please?
Mayor. A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, making certain findings and designating the real property located at 4801 South State Road 7, Davie, Florida, folio number 5041-362 10010 as a green reuse area pursuant to Section 376.80, subsection 2, subsection C, Florida statutes for the purpose of rehabilitation, job creation, and promoting economic redevelopment. Authorizing the town administrator to notify the Florida Department of Environmental Protection of said designation, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this may come up at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there any questions or discussion by council? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the green reuse area.
Motion to approve green reuse area.
Seconded.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 17 is a budget amendment. This is the first reading. The second reading will be held on January 4th. Mr. Weinfall, will you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, authorizing the First Amendment to the fiscal year 2023 budget, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
This is a public hearing. Anyone from the public who wishes to speak may come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Council, any discussion, questions? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the budget amendment?
Motion to approve budget amendment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, town clerk, would you do the roll call, please?
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 18 is a code amendment. Mr. Weinthal, will you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, amending the following sections of Chapter 12, Land Development Code, Section 12-33, creating paragraph NN, floating solar facilities, Section 12-152, tree removal / relocation, permits, exceptions, and Section 12-208, requirements for off-street parking, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
There will be a second reading on this on January 4th. If any member of the public wishes to speak for or against, you can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any questions or concerns by council? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the code amendment?
Motion to approve code amendment.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, number 19 is a quasi-judicial. It's a variance. Has
Quasi has been waived.
it's waived. Okay, thank you. Would you please read the title?
Yes,
of
Mayor.
our variance? Thank you.
A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, taking final action on variance application V20-099 Exxon, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this can come forward at this time. Yes, sir. Please state your name.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just for the record, Rod Feiner, I'm an attorney with Coker and Feiner, 1404 South Andrews Avenue, representing the applicant and property owner. We agree with the staff conditions and the conditions by P&Z, and we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no one else, we'll close the public hearing. Any questions, concerns? Okay, very good. May I have a motion to pass variance number 19?
Motion to approve variance.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. This closes the public hearing portion of the meeting, and we look forward, living in that area, look
Yep.
forward to the revamping of that location. It's long needed. Thank you.
That'll be very nice.
We have any appointments? I think we're all squared away on everything, aren't we? Let me just mention something. I was going to do it in my comments, but I think I'm going to do it here. We had some recommendations by the Ag and Environmental Board about having some classes and doing some educational programming. And I made several attempts, as well as some members of staff, to contact the Extension Office, the IFAS office, because I felt, why reinvent the wheel when they have a series of classes and they have programs, and then I wanted to try to partner with them in order to carry out that wish. I have not been able to get a response. I was really surprised when I sent the email that I did coming from the Office of the Mayor, that I didn't get a response. And so I've gotten to the point where I'm going to actually physically go to the IFAS office and speak to the head of the Extension Office and make one more attempt before we go to try to create our own educational program, because they have all the availability. They have some excellent programs, and even to encourage some of our residents to take the Master Gardener program, to get involved in some of these things that they offer. But they are doing one coming up shortly about sustainability and community gardens. And, I wanted to hopefully get involved in that. So this is a work in progress. So I just wanted to report that we're continuing to work on it. Okay? Huh? Excuse me. Is there any old business or new business? Okay, we have our schedule of events. We're taking a nice little break for the holidays, and we'll be back again January 4th. We have the mayor and council member comments. I'd like to start with District 1. Councilmember Whitman.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a few items to mention tonight. I would like to congratulate the 12 graduates of the 53rd Civilian Police Academy for completing the 12-week program. The next program will begin in February 2023. Again, congratulations on a job well done. On Saturday, December 10th and the 17th, the Davie Police Department will be having their Shop with a Cop event. December 10th will be at Target from 12 to 5. December 17th will be at the Walmart from 9 to 5. Remember, don't forget to donate to the town's toy drive. The town is collecting toys through December 16th. All our main facilities include the Pine Island Multipurpose Center, Police Department, Fire Department, and Town Hall are all accepting new unwrapped toys. Hey, not sure what to buy? There is a wish list on the website for more information. The Davie Police Athletic League, PAL, is hosting a winter camp from December 26th through December 30th. If you are interested, please contact the team at 954-321-2561. The camp is generally comprised of field trips, arts and crafts, and many more fun activities. In case you did not know, today is National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. It is a day to remember and honor the 2,403 Americans who were killed in the Japanese surprise attack on Pearl Harbor in Hawaii on December 7, 1941. I have a few facts that I would like to share from the Pearl Harbor warriors that I found interesting. The attack on Pearl Harbor lasted for only 1 hour and 15 minutes. There are 23 sets of brothers who died on board the USS Arizona out of 37 total pairs of trios of brothers assigned to the ship. Only one full set of brothers survived the attack, Kenneth and Russell Warner-Reiner. All of the members of the U.S. Navy Band, Unit 22, embarked on the USS Arizona, were killed during the attack, 21 members in total. This is the only time in American military history that an entire military band has been killed in action. The USS Arizona accounted for approximately half of all deaths from the attack, with the ship being hit 4 times by Japanese bombers before sinking. The USS Arizona continues to leak fuel to this day into the waters of Pearl Harbor. Many people think it is a myth, However, analysts have shown that the USS Arizona still leaks up to 9 quarts of fuel or oil into the harbor every day. This is due in part to the ship taking on 1.5 million gallons in fuel on December 6, 1941, prior to the attacks on the December 7th. The oil that commonly leaks out is also referred to as black tears, or the tears of the Arizona. Elvis Presley helped get the USS Arizona Memorial built. The funds were a mix of both public and private monies that included a benefit concert performed by Elvis. The concert raised more than $50,000 that represented more than 10% of the total cost of the Arizona Memorial. Now I would like to wish all the December babies a happy birthday, and to my fellow council members, our staff, and the community, I wish you all a wonderful holiday season and a happy, bright, and prosperous new year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. If you all have children and you miss the lighting in the greens, I want to encourage you next year to really get out to that event, because that is an excellent thing that we do here in the town. And kudos to the staff, the events, and it's just a really wonderful event to come there and see how happy those children are. And we had a huge slide and the bounce house, and I enjoy going just to watch the children. It's a wonderful event, wonderful. So please, if you haven't gone, try to get out and see that next year. And I want to say I'm very happy to be up here for the next year and sitting up here with the same council, with my colleagues here, and that's a blessing, and I'm thankful that we're all up here together, and that's I'm really looking forward to continuing to serve here with everyone. And with that, I want to wish those who keep it a happy Hanukkah. I want to wish all those who keep Christmas a Merry Christmas. And I want to wish everyone here in the town of Davie and everyone that works here a healthy, happy, and most prosperous new year. God bless everyone.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Hatton.
Thank you, Mayor. As the town's MPO representative, I want to update you on an item that will be under consideration at an upcoming meeting. In its 2024 work plan, FDOT is proposing improvements to the northbound I-75 on-ramp at Griffin Road. Specifically, the eastbound north on-ramp would be extended with a signalized green turn signal, and the westbound traffic would have a red signal. Furthermore, an additional lane would be added to facilitate the merging northbound ramp traffic. If approved, the design and planning of this project would start in 2024 with construction in 2028. Please note, let you know that the town previously passed a resolution opposing a park and ride and traffic signalization. These improvements appear to be limited in scope and would provide for additional capacity and turning movements to go northbound on I-75. I'm requesting your feedback as to whether you have any feedback regarding these improvements.
Have you, we discussed this with
yes.
engineer? And,
Yes, Mayor. Staff has all been involved in the discussions, and the MPO will be discussing it again tomorrow.
Okay. We're okay.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And I want to thank Mr. Pullman and Chad and Kevin and Adam and Alex and everybody in that department. First of all, Act Theater put on a play that was just hysterical I guess it was last week. And then we had the Murder Mystery Show at Robbins Park, which was really great. And all of those activities that my previous council members have mentioned were fantastic. And I just want to say you guys are doing a great job. They served. They took care of everything. I mean, they didn't have to do this, be servers and put it on. So they did. And I'm just very proud of them. Everybody enjoyed it. So thank you. And I would also like to wish everybody happy holidays and a wonderful new year. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Starkey.
Well, Michelle beat me to it on the Pearl Harbor Day, but I tell you what, you did a fabulous job on recognizing that, and I thank you for that. It was a good education. Last week, the Florida League of Cities met in a legislative conference to establish our priorities for the upcoming legislative session to determine which items we're going to predominantly focus on if there's legislation. Many of you might know that there's thousands of bills that get that get filed every year, and only a couple hundred that actually get passed. So it's really important for us to stay focused on it. So the board of directors, of which I serve, passed the 2023 legislative action plan. Some of them are the mobility issues that a lot of people face. We're going to be working on that, and transportation, short-term rentals, accessible housing, water resource planning and comprehensive watershed management, property tax protection, residential zoning, transportation funding, and water and wastewater plant operation licensure. So these are just a few that many of us will be working on. The biggest one always is home rule. And so I've been working with Leona Henry, and I thank her very much for this. We'll be passing it along and putting it on our packet on our future agenda for us to consider. And I thank you. I went up there, and like I said, it was a couple months preparation, so we've been working on that. And to that point also, to try to get our communities more involved, there's a program that I was asked to present at the Davie Cooper City Chamber of Commerce Women in Business Committee. They asked me to come and speak on Local Voices United, and that's a Florida League of Cities subcommittee or program that's offered to get the community involved. And we'll be discussing this more. I'll hopefully get it on the agenda in January, the second meeting in January, to present to you all so you get a little bit more information on it. They provide videos, etc. And I did the presentation yesterday. Leona helped. We did a great job. We got positive feedback, so I think it's a good idea to bring this forward to more community HOAs or civic groups like the Rotary or Kiwanis. So if there's anybody listening and they would like us to speak on this issue, please give me a call at Town Hall. As we kick off the holiday season, I too went to the lighting of the green and the lights. It was just fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Here at Pine Island, Bamford, it's just a little bit different than what we were used to at Town Hall, but it really did light up and get you in the spirit. And further, today I attended at the Old Davie School, the Rotary Club had their Kids at Risk holiday celebration. From all the different schools, they were chosen to come and get to meet Santa and get a few gifts to celebrate the holiday season that they may not have otherwise had a chance. And I tell you, it touches your heart, and it's really nice to be able to go. And I swung by there just to kind of take a peek about what they were all doing. It was really kind of cute. So I'm getting in the spirit, as you can see by my shirt, and it was really, really nice. So on that note, I want to wish everybody Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Festivus for the rest of us, if you want to celebrate that, and a very, very happy and, as we said, healthy and prosperous new year. We'll see you next year.
Thank you. Where shall I start? This past Sunday, I went to the Davie Community Worship Center right here in Davie, and we have worked very closely with this church on many occasions. Their choir come and sing at different events that we have, including Martin Luther King. But it was really an honor. I presented a proclamation. The leader of the church, Bishop Fedlin A. Beeson, was inducted into the Hall of Prophets, which is an international organization for the Pentecostal Theological Seminary. And the Church of God Hall of Prophets is very well known, and it was a pleasure to be there with them and celebrate with them on that that wonderful honor. So I represented the town and sent greetings from all of you. I also attended and was honored to do a little welcome at the Fire Chiefs Association of Broward County, their annual awards ceremony program, and our own chief was bidding her farewell, her 2 years as the leader of that organization, and installing in a new group. But we had some very wonderful honors that were bestowed, not only on Davie, but on many of the different fire rescue teams in Broward County. And that's always a pleasure to stand in front of all of those individuals and welcome them to the town of Davie. I also had the opportunity to welcome a group of youngsters, young men and women, to Town Hall to receive their Presidential Volunteer Service Awards. These were students who were affiliated with Project Stable from the 4-H Club. There was Jean Cavallo, Audrey Cavallo, Yuli Marin, and the recipients were Claire Cavallo, Anthea Barrio, Amelia Barrio, who, and the Hawes family. I don't know if many people will remember, but the young gentleman from the Hawes family, Hayden, had been with Project Stable ever since he was in middle school, and he is now in college. So he came in to receive the award, and it included a beautiful letter from the President of the United States, Mr. Biden, President Biden, congratulating them on this honor, and they received medallions and special recognition. So the Hawes family received a special award, a family award, because of the entire family being involved in the work that they did with the Project Stable. So I just wanted to give them recognition. I had reinstated my mayor's breakfast, and they've been very successful, and my next one is going to be at a new establishment right here on Griffin Road called Fat Stork. It's 8270 Griffin Road, and that'll be next Thursday at 9:30 a.m. for anybody that would like to join me to chat, to bring concerns. I know every time we have these breakfasts, if you just want to chat, it's great, but if somebody comes with a concern, we're able to get right on it and take care of it. So that always works out very nicely. So we're recognizing this new business that just opened, and that got very, very good reviews. So we'll be there at 9:30 next Thursday. Okay, next page. I have the great honor. I was invited to become a Board of Directors member of the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, which I accepted, and I am now on the board. And I just wanted to invite everybody. They've already sold out the Christmas concert at the Sunshine Cathedral, but they are doing one also at the Hard Rock on December 18th. And, okay, hi. The one at Hard Rock, their guest artist is Shoshana Bean, who starred in Wicked on Broadway. And she's really quite an accomplished individual, and they were just really thrilled that she was available and was able to do this. So, if you'd like to go online and purchase a ticket, I'll wave you and say hello when you're there. I've been watching every night, and I'm going to go home tonight and watch again. It starts at 9 o'clock. The NFR Finals. A lot of the people that were here in November are there at the National Rodeo Finals. And one of the things, if you remember the young girl, Addison, who Roberts, who presented me with boots with Troy Weekly's granddaughter. She's one of the flag girls this year. So I don't know if you've been seeing that they've been putting pictures on Facebook every night about the different her outfits and everything that they're wearing. But I know what flag she's carrying, so I'm able to identify her when she's riding through. And also one of the girls that was a barrel racer here, who's from Fort Myers, is in the top 5 for the nation. So it's fun, and we enjoy our rodeo. And to that point, because somebody had already brought it up, thanking everybody that worked on Davie Road and getting that finished with all the flowers and the signage and the lights and everything for our rodeo finals. And it just sparkles. Downtown is sparkling. It's just amazing what we've been able to accomplish. I'll be attending a 2-day conference tomorrow and Friday with Lisi on the Resiliency Summit. Looking forward to that and hoping to bring back some good information. Also, I wanted to mention that on December 11th, the town is having a concert called Jazzy Boots, and it's from 11 to 3 at the pavilion at the old Davie School. And it will be a really nice event with holiday music and a number of jazz musicians, and our Ebony Paris, who sang at the Lighting of the Green, she's going to be there as well. She's become the first lady of jazz in Davie, and she really is a beautiful voice. So we're looking forward to that on the 11th. It's free. Huh? And it's free, yes. Always. Our events are always free. Let's see. I think that's it. I have just wanted to say something about we have to continue to be vigilant and to denounce anti-Semitism wherever it rears its ugly head. And we were all dismayed by the recent anti-Semitic actions in Weston. When it's that close to home, it makes it so much more terrible. It's terrible anyway, but I want to thank the President for his strong words that he presented condemning anti-Semitism. And I know we always say, what can we do? What can we do? We have to stay vigilant. We have to condemn it. We have to keep our eyes open and our ears open and fight for everyone's right to exist, to pray as they wish, no matter what the religion, no matter what the belief. We are all Americans. We all bleed the same color blood. We're all part of humanity. And with that, we want to wish everyone happy holidays. And I saw a very interesting thing that was written, because some people get offended that we say happy holidays instead of saying the specific holiday. But I read something that was very interesting. More than 7 religions and cultural groups celebrate holidays during the period from November to January. And it's not an affront on any one group, but it's just to show that we are inclusive and that we were honoring and welcoming all religions, all cultural groups, to enjoy their seasons and our seasons. And so with that, I will say happy holidays. We're going to have a menorah lighting here. I don't remember the date. Jeff, do you remember the date? He can pull it out quickly. But and the other thing that I wanted to mention, which I thought was really wonderful about the Lighting of the Green, as every year we have the New Life Baptist Church does a living nativity, and it's always really very, very beautiful. So happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and God bless everybody. Thank you. Sorry to take so long, but What's next? Mr. Remack?
Mayor, I have nothing to add.
Oh, I
this
took
evening.
your time, okay. Mr. Weinthal?
Mayor, just happy holidays, and I'll see you guys at the menorah lighting.
Okay, very good. If there are no objections?
No objections.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, then it just went off. The 21st?